Today I'm joined by Andrew West, Managing Director and founder of Longlead Capital Partners. Longlead was founded in 2014 and is a specialist long-short equity manager with a core focus on Australia and Asia. Longlead offer an Australian domiciled wholesale unit trust based on their existing Longlead Absolute Return Fund. The Longlead Absolute Return Fund was started in July 2017 and has returned 28.9% per annum since inception. Longlead have performed particularly well on a risk-adjusted basis and have produced excellent down capture ratios since inception. During negative markets, the Absolute Return Fund provided investors with a positive return 67% of the time. Andrew, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Damon. Thanks for having me.
Andrew, ESG investment grew considerably in Asia Pacific in 2020, and there was a number of net zero emission targets released by Asia Pac countries in late 2020, proving that there's certainly a market for it. Has this changed the way that you look at companies and the way that Longlead builds its portfolio?
It's certainly added a new aspect to the way we look at the idea of change. And our process starts with speaking to companies over long periods of time, assessing when fundamental change in their operating environments or material aspects of their business starts to appear, and then investing in that change, knowing that will drive a valuation change. ESG has certainly strengthened as a driver of share prices over the last 12 months with exactly what you're talking about. You can see it in the fact that if you look today, this year rather, 40% of all flows into exchange-traded funds have been ESG flows. That means that material, real money is looking to allocate to companies that are performing better and emphasizing real ESG improvements in their operations. So that's right across Asia, and Asia has been a universe that perhaps ESG hasn't been front of mind. So from that perspective, it represents a very strong opportunity. If you look at the Japanese government has put forward measures to accelerate Japanese companies' ESG improvements. And many of the conglomerates there need to do a lot of work on their own businesses in order to achieve that. But it presents an interesting angle to invest in over the next couple of years. Longlead has long been aware of ESG factors and looked at ESG factors. We've had an ESG share class in our market neutral fund for 4 years now. And that means we're relatively unusual in the long, short and hedge fund community in having that aspect. We've moved to our own assessment matrix and rating scheme on ESG for our core portfolio names, and emphasising names in the portfolio where real improvement is being seen. There's a number of examples. Makalot in Taiwan, an apparel manufacturer, is very topical with respect to this. The big brands, apparel manufacturers from Nike to the retailers of Target, etc., are all needing to make sure their supply chain is fully audited and compliant from an ESG perspective. And companies, particularly in Taiwan, such as Makalot, have been ahead of the curve in making sure their manufacturing facilities, labour schemes, etc., are compliant for ESG purposes. And they're capturing market share. There's a very large consolidation angle happening across the Taiwanese apparel supply chain, and that's resulting in earnings growth. So it's an example where ESG is actually having real business impacts in a positive manner for certain companies that are getting themselves ahead of the curve. So absolutely, it's something that we measure, we monitor across our team and look for opportunities within the portfolio.
Thanks very much for joining us today. Appreciate your time and good luck for the rest of 2021.
Thanks, Damon.